Ime, Alpi obviously was having a dominant game inside, and you got some scoring from your bench there in the third quarter. But what did you think about the half-court offense creation in general?
Not our best, obviously. You only score 85. It's not a great offensive night, and the numbers show that. But I think 6 for 29 from three, 11 for 20 from free throw line, and 17 turnovers that gave up 25 points. So not our best offensive night by any means. Like I said, hold somebody at 95, you'd expect to win if you have a decent offensive night, and not only the shots, but like I said, turnovers playing in the crowd. The misses in the crowd are the same as turnovers, basically. So had our chances. Got it to 4-point game with 2:34, I think, and gave up a three there, but guarded well enough to win.
Did you expect to deploy Steven as much as you did tonight, and do you now expect to deploy him that much to the rest of the series?
Yeah, I mean, you want to use him. You got these days in between. He played, only played 20, and we planned on using him in the 20 to 25 range. So yes, we did.
Piggybacking off of that, how important was Steven tonight, just with that concept of really doing the dirty work?
Yeah, he's big. I think we dominated the glass, we dominated some areas, but had a poor offensive showing in general, like I said. So he did what he does. Got the extra possession. We had some wide open naked threes that we missed off those kickouts and opportunities on layups on the second chance points. And so, yeah, we shot 39%, and obviously he was a bright spot there, doing what he usually does.
Hey, man, why do you think Jalen Green struggled so, and what might you need from him kind of moving forward with the rest of the series offensively?
I mean, they went after him some, but played in the crowd a little bit too much. And it's not like I said, it's not really the turnovers as much as he only had one. But those shots in the crowd where you got to find your outlets, and so this is a team that's loading up. When he has his isolations on, whether it's up top or getting to the lane, they're packing the paint, and you got to find your outlets. That's going to be a big key throughout the series.
Coach, there was a big gap in the rebounding department, but in terms of overall pace, how can you try and find the gaps and advantages in the open floor?
You said overall pace?
Yeah.
Yeah, we got to get some stops and get out and run. I think, they hit some timely shots, the shot clock shots late in the side out of bounds there, and they just felt like they hit two or three of those where we regarded well enough. And, our mantra all year has been turn defense to offense, and when we do get those opportunities, we got to cash in on them. It felt like we missed quite a few layups out in the open court, or we're a little sloppy there, had some turnovers as well when we had the numbers advantage.
With Jabari being one of the only few people that had any type of offensive flow tonight and his ability to shoot over, anybody on the court, is there any thought of him possibly moving into the starting lineup next game, or is it too early to kind of tell on that?
I mean, it was some guys did struggle offensively. You're not going to overreact to one game, but if guys do play better, we have a chance there. A 10-point loss, and like I said, holding somebody at 95, it was an offensively poor showing. The defense was good enough, but not going to overreact to that game. Like I said, it's some of the guys' first time, and we had our chances.
Coach, when Steph is hitting those type of shots that he was hitting tonight, how much does that change your defensive approach?
I mean, we guarded some things well. I think he hit some end of shot clock shots that we guarded decent, but we did have some slippage in our connectivity to him. And so giving them that space, especially late in the shot clock, he dips you under the three-point line, gets those off. We got to know shot clock game time score situation and lock in and make him a driver there. So, yeah, he hit some tough ones. He does that at times, but, he got loose and felt like he hit some big shots to stem the tide for them.
When y'all were able to cut into the lead in the third quarter and early in the fourth, what did you feel like was the source of that, and is that something that you feel like y'all could tap into maybe throughout the entirety of the game?
Yeah, we got stops and ran and got offensive rebounds, second chance opportunities. And so, not turning the ball over, getting quality shots is always a good formula. And when we didn't do it, they got out and ran, especially in the first half, and got better in the second and got more quality looks. But even with that being said, we didn't shoot it particularly well. Obviously, you look at Fred, Jalen, Amen, didn't have their usual night shooting and still had our chance. So said to the group, guarded well enough, got to have better offensive showing, get our spacing down and take care of the ball.
Ime, did you feel like the moment got to any of your guys?
I wouldn't say the moment. I would say their physicality at times, going after guys and just playoff basketball. It's not really about the moment. I think going into the lane, kind of trying to shoot over too many guys and not finding your outlets is a big thing and a big key for us all year. When we do it right, we get wide open looks. When we don't, we struggle a little bit. And so I wouldn't say it was anything to do with the moment, but the physicality does go up, and you have to understand that when you drive to the paint.
On offense, were you getting the matchups that you wanted for the most part, or was it a matter of not getting some of the?
No, we got some decent ones. Didn't break them down as much as we wanted to. Like I said, if you draw and they pack the paint the way they do and kind of are going to make certain guys prove it, you just have to trust your teammates, get off the ball. And I think we had too many of those turnovers playing in the crowd. So they're going to load up and, help the poorer defenders. And we got to take advantage of that with the easy play.
Can you talk about Alpy tonight and what he gave you? How he kind of kept you guys in it the whole game?
Yeah, he was a bright spot offensively for sure from the get-go. Got into the paint, made plays. Other than a few turnovers in the crowd, was really solid there. And so he had a great night. Need some others to kind of join the party there, and I think guys will.
It seemed like hunting Steph was a little bit of the game plan at times, depending on certain guys being on the floor. Is that something you look to go back to next game, or do you feel like it wasn't executed properly tonight?
No, it's worked well for us for sure. And like I said, we had the advantage there. You just have to make the right read because they're going to load up. They're going to show, elbows in boxes and show a crowd behind them. And if they're daring guys to shoot, you just have to make the right play. And whether you get by him and they collapse the paint or the simple advance pass, which is there quite a bit, and the guy's sitting at the nail, you have to make the right read.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.